Hey guys, it's Marty and Soma Boma here. Just kind of having a bit of a... She literally already exited. Alright. It's still Marty and Soma Boma on the floor. Having a bit of a self-care moment. Sneaking in some self-care time today. Already did a face mask. Threw on some moisturizer. I personally like the CeraVe myself, but she's on a budget. She has Equate. It's fine. Just putting something on my face. I'm trying to start now. Probably waited a little too long in life to start, but that's okay. You know, as long as we start somewhere, right? So yeah, self-care day. Hope you find some time for a little self-care in your day as well, or week, or whenever. But like I said, did the mask, did the moisture, got the water, gotta stay hydrated, very important. And I thought we would just kind of hang out today on this cozy, rainy self-care day. I'm gonna do a little bit of nail polish, I think, which I'm kind of lazy and not super accurate. So it's really just throwing some sparkles on because you can kind of just be willy-nilly and pretend like you did something and put in the effort. And then I thought it would be fun. I have this little... if I can find the actual box to it. Little box of cards I got from the store, and it's just called Tell Me More. I know there's a lot of different versions and different card games and stuff where it basically asks you questions so you can get to know people, and since the channel is so new, I thought maybe this would be a good way to kind of get to know me. I would love to know more about you if you guys want to answer any of the questions. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. But if you guys want to answer any of the questions down below, I think that would be a lot of fun too. So, let's see what the first question is. We will draw. Okay, first one. What does my wallpaper on my phone say about me? So my wallpaper is actually just a collage of my immediate family and then also my animals, which obviously they are part of my immediate family. They're some of the most important members, in fact. I won't show the photo because obviously maybe not everybody wants to be online, and that's totally fine. But as far as my animals go, I do have my girl, Soma, who you guys have seen kind of in the background of a couple of videos already. So she is my little bestie for the resty girl. Love her so much. She's my heart and soul. I'm definitely 100% dog mom, obsessed, gets on my husband's nerves. No, but I really do love her. I definitely believe that, you know, our animals rescue us as much as we rescue them. I got her in a really unique situation, but adopted from my local humane society. She is 6 years old now. I've had her since she was a puppy, and she was just the best, one of the best additions to our family. It has really shown me some true love, and I love her back. And I also have two awesome cats. The oldest cat's name is Bond. He is about 8 years old. Funny story about him is that before my husband and I were actually ever even dating, he had gone and picked up Bond on a whim. I remember when we were just friends and he texted me, "I'm adopting a cat." And unfortunately, this poor guy had gotten left behind somewhere and the people had moved out. So, you know, he was just kind of there, and he went, and he as in my husband, had always wanted to get a cat for himself, and the timing all just lined up, and so he ended up with Bond. And I might not be able to show you a picture of my background, but I can definitely show you a picture of, let's see if we can find a good photo of Bond while we're talking about him. So anyways, he had gotten him, and we don't know his exact age. He is been in our family for about 8 years, over 8 years now. I don't know if you can see really well, but he's black and white, sophisticated, in a tux. James Bond. This is Bond James, though. Also known as Kitty. But, yeah. So he was part of the family before I was even part of the family, but I would just like to say I have been his one and only mother, so don't get it twisted. He was part of a single fatherhood, and then we became one little unit. And when we moved into our house together, he really ran the roost until we adopted his sister Soma, our dog. She came next, and then I actually spent some time at our local animal shelter, and that is when I met, at the time his name was Dale, and that is our kitty Bennington. So Bennington we adopted when he was teeny tiny itty bitty. Oh gosh, he's a little ginger cat. He's so washed out you can't even see him. Let's see if I can find a different picture. We adopted him when he was a little kitten. I actually just fostered him for a second, and obviously foster fail. He fit right in. It was like right away Bond knew that that was going to be his little dude, and they have been just buds ever since. Let's see if I can. Anyways, I'll have to see if I can find some pictures to show you guys another time where he's not so washed out. I have millions of pictures. I know I'm not the only one where it's like animals on your phone. But yeah, so we have the 3. We have the 2 kitties, and we have Soma, our dog, and yeah, they're all pals. But I mean, like true sibling form. Sometimes they get on each other's nerves like mad, and sometimes you find them cuddling when you're not looking, and sometimes they'll be wrestling through the house. But they bring a lot of joy, as much joy as they bring to us. I mean, they're just worth everything, right? Rescues are the best, in my opinion. But it's so funny because we always just end up with the naughties. But I feel like they don't start naughties. I think there's something in them coming to our household, so that's probably an us problem, yeah? So, question number 1 was definitely, what does my phone wallpaper say about me? And got off on a tangent there. Question number 2. Name a skill you'd love to learn instantly. That's a really good question. I think one that comes to mind immediately is learning a new language. So I feel like that would open up so many doors, not just professionally, but just to communicate with more people. Wouldn't that be so beautiful? Yeah, I definitely slacked off when I was younger, and I did not learn a second language. I wish I would have really invested more time in that, and even beyond that, more languages, but I would love to be able to pick up on that quickly so that you can just talk to more people. Even at my job, you run into people who speak different languages, come from different walks of life, and it would just be so much easier to help them if we can understand them, we can understand each other, converse back and forth. Don't assume English is the first language for everyone, because it's obviously not. I think learning languages is so important, and it's still something in adulthood I would really love to learn a little bit more. But if I could do that instantly, that would be like number 1 that I think of that comes to mind. Number 3, what is a favorite inspirational quote? Okay, I'm thinking of one that comes to mind, and I need to pull it up so I can read it exactly. But it's basically along the lines of, nature does not rush, and yet everything is accomplished, I believe. Yeah, so nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. And I feel like that's big on patience and perspective, and we're always in such a hurry in the world, like go, or in grind mode or what have you. But I think it's important to know that at the end of the day, things can be achieved, things can be accomplished, regardless of our drive, right? I'm not saying working hard isn't important, but I am saying like pushing yourself to the ground, not super valuable either. I know you can get results that way, but things will still come to light regardless of that grind. So I think, yeah, that's one that I call back on a lot, I feel like. All right, next question. What do you think? Okay, so what is my go-to karaoke song? I'm not a big karaoke person. I haven't done it since like middle school with friends, high school maybe. I literally remember singing who sings it though? But headstrong, take you on. Very cringy, but I do remember singing that. Now as an adult, I definitely think Hotel California by the Eagles. Gotta be, right? I don't know that that's really like a crowd mover, but I think I would love to sing it. Name 3 people you'd invite to a dream dinner party. That is such a good question. There are so many people. Oh my gosh. First of all, I'm not a super social person, so this is definitely a dream scenario, dinner party. But Barack Obama, hopefully Barack and Michelle Obama, but I'm counting them as one. Yeah, like they're a unit, okay? Adam Sandler and Davey Havok from AFI, which was like one of my all-time favorite bands back in the day. Still big place in my heart. I think there'd be some very interesting conversations at that party. A lot of laughs, some music. What more could you ask for at a dinner party, right? I mean, as long as it's not stale and boring. Hopefully good food too. But I didn't invite any chefs, so I don't know who's cooking. Probably order in. Next question. What do I fear the most? I already know this right off the bat. I think I've gotten better about it in recent years, but I've never loved bugs in general or spiders. Spiders specifically just take me by surprise. But I think as I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate them more in my own way, and I'm not as scared. Sometimes like I said, it's really the surprise and the shock value of seeing one just staring at you. But I do not feel like I'm as fearful of them now at this point in life, but holes. I hate holes. Like if I see something that's covered in holes, or and it doesn't even have to be real. Like it doesn't even have to be in front of me. I can see it on a show. It can be animated, like lots of little holes. I cannot. Anything that's like porous, no, I can't. I literally can feel it. I can feel it in my body when I see holes like that. I know there's a word for it. But yeah, I remember that from a young age. And there was one time where I was out front and there was a spider and there was a hole and it went directly into the hole. I mean, that is what nightmares are made of, in my opinion. What else is there? That's a horror movie. It could be 5 seconds long. It's a horror movie. I ended that day. Okay, next question. What am I most qualified to give advice about? Absolutely nothing, right? I am just a human being living my own life, trying to do right by others as I go along, but I wouldn't say I'm qualified to give advice about anything except my own life in some ways and my own experiences. I can go on a lot of tangents about stuff, but that's not really advice. I'd love to know what you guys are really qualified in giving advice on. Every once in a while, like a cleaning technique maybe, or I can give you advice about what games to play, what shows to watch, that kind of thing. But that's not really like life advice per se, right? They're the sparkles so far. You can't even pick them up on camera. You might need to do another coat. What is something you wouldn't want to change about yourself? That's a really good question. I feel like a lot of times it's what would you want to change about yourself? Something that I definitely saw as a weakness for a really long time was, I think, my sensitivity and my empathy. I feel like I would just feel things so deeply, and sometimes I would feel like, why doesn't anybody else see it that way? Or it could feel really isolating or alone. But as I've gotten older, I've come into adulthood and, have my own family, own life, own existence. I don't think that your emotions define your strength. And then I also think being empathetic can be a really beautiful thing. Even though sometimes people might not see things from your perspective, that doesn't mean your perspective is wrong, right? We're all just different people feeling things differently in the same world, but I think empathy can be a strength. So I wouldn't want to change that about myself now. Next question. Share a childhood memory that always makes you smile. Again, there's a lot of them. I have talked about it on this channel before, but I do definitely remember playing the Sega with my brother a lot growing up, and those memories always make me smile, just thinking about playing those zany, quirky games of the 90s. And then definitely when we beat Streets of Rage for the first time, very proud, defining moment for us. But also I just think of some general things, like growing up, we had family meetings and we would all jump and talk on my parents' bed. So like we would all get up there to talk about our day, talk about anything, and we'd all be sitting in one corner of the bed. And even our dog would put her arms up on the bed and be part of the family meeting. So that's a big one. Yeah. All of our holidays were really special. We were definitely just a big unit growing up, my immediate family. So a lot of special memories in that way. Very grateful for that. Last question of the stack that I pulled is, when was the last time I surprised myself? And I would say even just starting this channel was one really more recent thing. Because I think in general, I am a more introverted person, but I had been asked towards the end of last year, actually, what do you do outside of work for fun? What are your hobbies? And I just remember freezing and blanking and thinking, it has been so long since I've had a hobby or something that I did that wasn't required of me, something that I showed up for just me, or even to be part of a community in some kind of way. And it was something that I had always had in the back of my head, like, well, maybe I could start a channel, or maybe I could get on here. And I had really, within the last 2 years, had started getting into the cozy gaming community, and really starting to look into that and liking that idea of low stakes gaming, because I had grown up loving gaming and kind of fell out of love, kind of felt burnt out. Life took hold. I went to school. I was working all the time. There's always reasons to not invest in your own time. Up until this last year, and I just really thought, gosh, what are my hobbies? And I kind of wanted to take a step back and remember the things that I loved and things I wanted to try. And like I said, I had always loved gaming, and I really wanted to step back into that world, but maybe like from a different lens. And I think that's what I did. And also I loved the idea of a sense of community. So even if I'm reaching a couple of people and we're sharing our ideas and thoughts, or sharing our hobbies with each other, sharing our days with each other, self-care days, hard days, that's really special too. So even though I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, am I kind of late in the game to start anything? No, you're never too late to start. It's okay to start somewhere. Start anywhere. Start today, start tomorrow, but never stop starting, you know? Nothing wrong with that. And just enjoy your time. And the next time somebody asks you, what do you like to do in your free time, and you draw a blank, remember that you need to invest in yourself in your free time. It's very important. Just as much as it is important investing in everybody else, you are important too. So never forget that. Yeah. I think that's enough questions for today. We can definitely do this again sometime, or maybe pick a different card game. If you guys recommend any, let me know down below. If you guys want to answer any of the questions, let me know down below. Let me know what your favorite self-care activity is. Like I said, threw on a little bit of nail polish. I had done my face mask, moisturized, got a little bit of water. Just kind of hanging out with my girl right now. And yeah, just getting cozy. So I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Thanks for joining me for a few, and we'll see you later.